All right, so today I want to talk about this tweet from Maxime Bernier, and it's kind of funny in a way and very sad in another way too. So let's read it and we'll talk a little bit about it. But anyway, he goes on to say priorities: world pandemic, financial bubble, stock market crash, massive economic dislocation. Trudeau: climate change, gender equality, discrimination, diversity, LGBTQ rights, UN Security Council seat, and unicorns. And this is basically Canada. Like, the economy's in a lot of trouble right now. Not that it wasn't before, but it's just becoming more obvious. We have, people, a lot of people are out of work. Some people paid, some people not paid. All you people in the public sector, yeah, you're complain about how bad you have it, but all these teachers and university professors and um, public sector workers, basically, yeah, you're gonna get a good month or two, maybe three off, paid. And people in sales and marketing and the private sector, yeah, they're probably not gonna get paid, or at the very least not as much as what they would be getting paid. So whenever you remember, it's just another example of the people in the public sector that think they have it so bad. No, you really don't. You have it way better than you should. But anyway, getting back to this is Justin Trudeau now. I mean, number one, his wife, has tested positive for coronavirus, so he is, I believe, forced to stay home as well. I assume he's been in contact with her, so I mean, he needs to, quarantine himself, so he's going to be working from home. And not that that matters too. I think if you're a prime minister, phones exist nowadays. You have Skype, FaceTime, all this kind of stuff. So not that I don't think that he could get stuff done if he actually wanted to, but his priorities just go to show just how bad, backwards priorities basically, in that everything that the government should be doing nowadays should be to get the economy back on track and keep people safe and from this whole coronavirus thing. That should be priorities. 99% of your priority time that you're spending on this kind of stuff as a government should be on those two things. I mean, and they're tied in together. Not climate change. Like I always say, climate change not an issue, not no evidence of it being an issue. And like I say, there's endless amounts of reasons for it not to be an issue, namely the fact that they've been claiming it's gonna, kill us all for, over a generation now. They can't make a prediction that happens to come true if their life depended on it. Um, and not to mention too, the data doesn't really match up with all their predictions anyways. So yeah, I'm not going to get into that. That'd take another video at least to do. Gender equality, again, not an issue. There's no such thing as a gender pay gap. If anything, you're better off as a woman, and I would argue that, and I would pretty easily win that argument with anyone who wanted to debate that. Discrimination, diversity, again, they don't believe in diversity. If they did, they would look at, university professors and be like, hey, only like 5-10% of you guys are on the right. We should get some more conservatives in there. They don't look at an industry where white men are underrepresented and be like, hey, you guys should get some more white men in there. It's only when quote unquote leftists are underrepresented. It's only when women are underrepresented. It's only when minorities are underrepresented. So if you actually cared about diversity, you'd care about it all the time, not just some of the time. LGBTQ rights, again, not that, again, I've yet to meet someone who literally has said, even online or in person, who doesn't believe in the concept of LGBTQ rights. The overwhelming majority of people still do be like, hey, this drag queen story hour and pushing it on young children, yeah, I'm against that. Like, and it makes no sense too, that the leftist logic basically goes with all their beliefs is that you either agree with us 100% or you disagree with us 100%, and therefore you're a Nazi or you're a homophobe and you're this, that, and the other. And that's the reason too why the left is, I mean, aside from Canada, why the left is losing so bad nowadays. In that they're so radical that they think that anybody who's 10% less radical than them is 100% less radical than them. So UN Security Council seat again. Like, why? Who cares about the UN? Like seriously, who cares about the UN? Like what benefit does it have for us to have a UN Security Council seat? Seriously, please tell me. Like what benefit? Like he could have spent that time, doing other stuff that would have got us a lot of, could have helped work on the economy. He had to spend a ton of money to get that Security Council seat too. You could have spent that helping the homeless. You could have used that money to fight climate change. You could have, but again, they don't care. And not to mention too, one of the African countries that they had to basically bribe to get to vote for us to get that Security Council seat, the money that we gave them, they're using to develop their oil and gas sector too. So they're just contradictions on top of contradictions. Like when you have contradictions within your contradictions, then you know that your government is based in absolute, make believe world. Like seriously, but anyway, I wanted to make a video about this because you know the economy is in a lot of trouble, and it's not just because of Trudeau. I understand that for all the people saying, oh, it's just because of Trudeau, like the American economy is in trouble too. But number one, it's going to bounce back, and number two, the economy was in a lot of trouble before, and if the state's economy bounces back, 10-20%, and the Canadian economy bounces back 10-20%, the states is going to be in a lot better shape. um, so basically, yeah, that's where we're at in Canada, that we have these massive issues going on now that are literally affecting the overwhelming majority of the population. And Justin Trudeau and the Canadian government, all these lefties, I mean in the States too, they're worried about is these make-believe BS, um, political policies basically. And all like I say, on the left, it's all about virtue signaling too. Like they don't care if you actually get stuff done. Like they don't care, it's just will to power. We want our free stuff, give it to us, and we'll vote for you basically. And that's where you're at if you're on the left. But anyway, I'm gonna leave the video there. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my PayPal, got linked in the description. I also got an email address for e-transfer. I appreciate any donations, but at the very least, just hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more videos.